We might already know exactly what's going to happen next in the Santa Claus Season 3, but there is one hidden detail about Scott Calvin's failing magic nobody is talking about, and it completely changes the entire future of the North Pole. You are watching Screen Explain. Going into Season 3, the biggest disruption is the sudden invasion of the North Pole, because Season 2 ended with Mad Santa and Olga launching a full-scale attack. The elves are being forced to prepare for an actual war. This leads to a massive problem because Scott Calvin's magic has been actively failing him since the very beginning of the series, which means the current Santa Claus cannot defend the North Pole by himself anymore. This is going to happen because the entire purpose of the show is Scott finding a successor, and right now his teenage son Cal is completely unprepared to take over the mantle. So now, Mad Santa's attack is going to force the transition of power to happen immediately, completely destroying Scott's careful timeline. This forces Scott Calvin into an impossible position. He will have to choose between fighting a magical battle he physically cannot win, or forcing his unready son to absorb the full magic of the Santa coat to save their home. Because of this, Scott's control over his family's safety is completely removed. The attack acts as a massive disruption, turning Cal's slow, controlled training process into a desperate survival situation. This will lead directly to Cal taking on the magic before he actually understands how to use it. With the North Pole's defenses dropping, Cal goes from being a clumsy kid in training to the only person with enough raw power to stop Mad Santa. This shifts the core question. The story is no longer about Scott peacefully retiring to the normal world. It becomes about whether his son can actually survive the weight of the Santa title during an active crisis. The obvious direction is that Scott somehow regains his original magic at the last second and defeats Mad Santa himself to protect his family. But a more likely outcome is that Scott is forced to permanently give up the coat to give Cal the power he needs to win the fight. Which means Cal officially becomes the new Santa Claus under the worst possible circumstances. So, will Scott sacrifice his power to save the North Pole, or will Cal fail his very first test as Santa? Subscribe to Screen Explain for more.